Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. We'll just jump right into it as we always do. You know, I did a day in the hospital due to a sciatic nerve that I was diagnosed with, and being in a position where you're not able to move and do normal daily routines that you're used to doing, that you take advantage of, that comes just like second nature. And when you're deprived of that, you kind of sit back and you wonder, and it gives you a lot of time to think. So I'm sitting in the hospital, right? All kind of thoughts flowing through my mind. You have thoughts like, man, damn, what if they find something serious? Is this it? Is this the end? Did I accomplish all the things in life that I wanted to accomplish? Did I do all the things? How was I as a person? Did I try to help as many people as I could? How will I be remembered and whatnot? I mean, you get all sorts of thoughts just running while they running these tests, and you in so much pain, and they doing CAT scans, and you like, man, what's going on? But then I realized, if it's a second left on the clock, you in the fourth quarter, 1 second left on the clock, you still got time to score that touchdown. You see what I mean? You keep on rolling right to the end. Good thoughts, good spirit. Send out positive vibes right down to the end, because you realize, hey, you only got one life, and there's only one you. There'll never be another like you to come on this planet. God doesn't make two snowflakes the same, so you don't have a counterpart. So take your talent and your gifts, be happy. As I always state, that if you can't look in the mirror and smile at yourself, smile at your damn self, something's wrong, man. Some not order. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I don't care what you're going through. Nope, the hardest times, whatever. If you above ground, smile at yourself. Things get better. Keep rolling. Have fun, right? So while I'm sitting in there, right now, I got to get into some politics, before we get out of here, right? But man, I'll do that later. Okay, well, look. So I'm listening to the Dr. Mumbai show, right? And she posted out a gunner, right? Now, Dr. Mumbai, she basically saying that China brought its military into Africa, because, as you know, China has been loaning money to Africa and building freeways and railroads and whatnot, right? But within the contract that China is into with Africa, in that contract it states that if Africa defaults, and this comes from the Dr. Mumbai show, if Africa defaults on any of the loan, then China has the right to take possession of whatever Africa has defaulted on, whether it be that railroad system, whether it be vehicles, whether it be land, whether it be gold mine, copper mines. So the purpose is, see, this is what gets me, though. Okay, I know y'all say, man, why you always saying Brother Farrakhan? Because it amazes me. He said this a long time ago. He said they'll come in your country, give you loans at exuberant amounts that you can't pay back. Said that, and you will default on a loan, and then they'll come take your property or take your infrastructure or buildings or whatever. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said that a while back, and I'm like, man, I'm sitting here watching it. China came in loaning money that they know that it's like the game. It's like the game, right? Somebody know you a hustler, you making money. They loan you money or they give you some work, right? They know you ain't they gonna set it to where the interest gonna be too high. You would never pay that money back. Just like in the industry, music industry, they give you upfront money to do an album, whatever, and while you still broke, you locked in the contract because they gonna work you, they gonna slave you. You would never be able to pay that upfront money back. You know, you. That's why Prince put slave on his face. It's a game. I just can't believe that the governing body of Africa will got fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I can't believe that the government of Africa didn't see that coming. Right. Then she also stated about the 300 U.S. military bases that's in Africa who does these military exercises 10 a day. Well, I mean, what's going on? What are all these wars? What are all these countries gathering their armies together in Africa for? You know, then now Ghana is saying, "Hey, the black people in America come back to Ghana." They're offering visas to African Americans that's in America to return to Ghana, and they setting you up nice now. I mean, the teacher salary for a black American is pretty good. The land is cheap; you can buy land. The country's beautiful. We got the best beaches, you know, the food, and they are asking, in a sense, to where they basically saying, "Hey, we need your help." But why do they need the help of the African Americans in America? And so-called, that's what the term they use, African American, but we know who we are, right? Okay, but why? What's going on? One thing you all have to realize is that we fought racism for over 400 years. And that energy and spirit that we got, we know how to mobilize. We know how to stand strong and fight. And they need that energy amongst the African people. They need the energy of the African Americans in Africa to help them fight. And they said in return, we got land for you. We got resources. We got peace. This is your land. We got a government that's not going to discriminate against you. But we need strategic minds to come up with a plan that will sustain the freedom of Africa, which is slowly slipping away due to one, greed, due to so many foreign entities, and I'm talking about the Chinese and American army that's in Africa. These entities are slowly sucking Africa dry. And they don't have a solution. And the solution is in their midst, if only they heed and pay attention. You know, but as I stated, greed. You feel as though you're not taken seriously on the world stage if you're not competing in the imagery of America. If you don't have the things that the West deemed successful, you don't have those material objects, then you're not considered a success. You chasing nothing. What does it say? Why do they love the devil? Because the devil gives them nothing. In the end, that little old material object you thought was something, in the end it'll crumble and you'll wind up with nothing. But you loved the thought or the idea of that material object because of the prestige that you felt that gave you in your mind, So that's very interesting. Uh, the call, the visas. Come on, African Americans, blacks, Moors, come on over to Ghana. Uh, we give you free visas. We give you access to land, which is a beautiful country, which is independent, which is it's a good. Actually, it's a good invitation. But my thing is, offer that sooner. Should have offered that before China came. Should have offered that before the 300 American bases was in Ghana. It's like you don't get behind the 8 ball and then look for a savior when you know the patterns of dealing with foreign entities and the history of Africa from the Belgians and King Leopold and cutting the hands off these children, stealing rubber from rubber trees, working them in like slave. Well, they were slaves in the camp to produce the rubber, and you haven't learned. You haven't learned. They haven't learned yet, man. They haven't. You haven't learned yet. Kanye had an interesting statement on the 13th Amendment, though. I gotta say, dealing with the fact that we don't need a trapdoor. You're free. We don't need no stipulation. You free, yeah, but if you commit a crime, you go back into a slave status. Hey, well, but goddamn, with the way these laws was written, just being black was a crime. So true, it was unfair. But so something had to be. Feel like this. Freedom, when you want freedom, black man want a freedom. The fact of the matter is freedom is free. Freedom is a God-given right. You was created in a free space of your mother's womb. Free up in there. The law in the womb while you were being cultivated was survival, because you had to gather the tools you needed to survive. Your brain, your arms, your legs, your eyes. You know what I mean? Your mind. You having thoughts in the womb. That's why they read to children in the womb. When you're pregnant as a mother, especially a black mother, the best thing you can do is put them headphones to that child's ear, play some classical music, eat you some salmon, get that omega-3, which strengthens the brain. Read to the baby. You had a dictionary, put the medicine to the baby's, to your stomach, and let him come out with some wisdom and knowledge. Hit the ground running. That baby will hit the ground running. Trust me, believe that. So in that environment, so you come out of your mother's womb in an environment of peace, into a society of non-peace. So now you got to navigate through this to society, because your example was in the womb, how things worked and flowed, and until that 9 months came out, how the harmony was there, how food came on time, how you learned the difference between the energy of emotions, as far as you can feel the energy of love in their womb. You can feel the energy of dislike or distrust in their womb. You can feel the energy of a person that was no good. You feel all those energies. You might don't understand, because as a baby, you don't understand the words they using, but you feel good and positive energy. You learn that because the mother's drinking water, eating salads, eating fresh food. You know that energy, you know that feeling. You know what I mean? You know the spirit of when she's happy. You happy because that energy flows into you. But you also know when she slip and get some fried food or whatever, and you feel that something ain't right. You know, these poisons or um, what do you call it? What's the word I'm using? I'm looking for when you have these GMOs and these steroids and whatnot into the food. You feel that because why? Your diet as a child. Think about this, right? Think about this. You sperm traveling, trying to fertilize that egg. Millions traveling right along with your brothers and sisters. They trying to get to the egg, you trying to get to the egg. You beat them out, fertilize that egg, then you turn around and eat the other for food because that's pure protein. Now you survive. So you started off with protein. Then you get your salads and you get the home cooked meals that uh, your parents are eating. Then all of a sudden, bam, fast food hit. You know the difference from that protein to that fast food. Is what I'm trying to get at is to prove the point that you know that all through your life you feel good energy and you feel negative energy. You know this from since the womb, right? So as we get old, okay, we in this society. The goal is, shall we go long? All right, look, I'm gonna do it. We gonna do the whole thing tonight. I'm feeling good. We're gonna do it all tonight. So let's roll. The goal was to set the record straight or set things straight. Once you came into the light out the mother's womb. You in the light, you in flesh. You want to set things right on your mission. Why? Because everybody has a talent, a gift, and a purpose for being here. Right. But now what happened? We'll get into that. We're gonna get into it. What happened, right? What happened? Okay. We'll go back to Egypt. We're gonna skip through time. We're gonna skip through time. Okay, first, as the honor belongs to Muhammad stated, God created himself out of triple darkness, right? And he created, now think about this. That's where the name cold black comes from, which I told you all that before. The state of the universe. It was cold and it was black, triple darkness, when he created himself, right? There was no colors, meaning the sun wasn't up yet. And where did the colors come from? The reflection of the sun. The reflection of the sun give off different rays of colors from the blue, green. And you find those colors in plants. You mix some colors up. But prior to that, the only color that existed was that dark matter, triple darkness. God created himself. Now, man, he and she made them one, right? So he got man and woman on the planet, right? Now, as you all know, or you may not know, protons, neutrons, electrons, atoms float through the universe just like sperm. Just like sperm. That atom had that thought manifests itself. Now you have man walking on planet Earth, out of the image and likeness of the Creator. That's why when they say, well, God is a spirit, you trying to tell me he created man in his image and his likeness? He didn't walk. There was nothing tattooed on his thighs. King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Abraham didn't say, my Lord, sit down, go get the fatted calves for the God, see if the God was hungry. You don't think God walked around because he created man and female out of his image? So we're gonna keep rolling. So now we're getting to Egypt. We had to. At that point, we were digressing in a sense, as far as by the time the Egyptians came about, but we still maintain and possess some of the knowledge. So uh, pyramids had to be built as a roadmap to our brothers and sisters back on Sirius B, or what they would call Planet X, or Sirius A B, right? Pyramids um, is pyramids was constructed at the locations that is in line with the star constellation as they maps to show where we at. Give you an example. Give you an example. Uh, you have atom, stars, star energy, right? Who wants to have a human experience, right? So the vibration when the lineage from the first beings bloodline. Meaning, okay, give you an example on that. Give you an example on that. Bloodline is you can go in the mirror and look at yourself, right? But you had to have a father in order to get down here, right? Then he had to have a father, and a father, and a father, and a father, and it goes back right to them very times of uh, Egypt, but even prior to Egypt. But we're just using Egypt because the pyramids is something we can see in our times that was built in a prior time. You get it? Okay. So when that star energy wants to come and live a human existence, doing the act of sex, man and woman, that energy, the female, the male and the female, offers a pathway into existence. So through that pathway into existence, that child is born to finish a work that he left off when he passed. The purpose of the pyramids was two purposes: to show that with a roadmap to show that energy, atoms, protons, and neutrons, where we had located for our brethren. So they'd come down to the earth to finish what they rebuilding, what they messed up. And also the tombs was the scholars, the pharaohs, the thinkers, the minds, the theologians, the highly advanced, educated ones among us that you would call pharaohs. That's why if you go in the Bible, they said Moses threw his staff down, it's turned to a snake. Pharaoh threw his down, it turned to a snake too. Right? That's just showing you that the knowledge was there. The tombs was built because they felt as though that energy and and where it was placed was the fact that you could travel from when you passed. You can reincarnate or evolve to where you come right back down here and finish the work off that you left when you passed. Is with the purpose of that, because the mission was to set things back right, because man has started to fall. And so since man has started to fall, then these wise ones, example, read Thoth, Thoth, read on Thoth. These wise ones would come back in different periods in time with wisdom and knowledge to set things straight again. And so now today, it's distorted, right? It's almost like the Abraham syndrome. Can I find one righteous? He couldn't find one righteous, right? But people like what you would call prophets are the ones who uh, sacrifice their life to fight against the ruling class or the ruling government for the minds of the people, God's people, to um, to bring them back into the fold so they can go ahead and finish creating the mission on and set things straight the way it was intended to be in the beginning. That's why you had rules and you had commandments and you had certain things were in a line to keep man from going astray, because you had an opposing force to where everything that the creator said don't do, the opposing force was to say no do. And that was the whole story of Adam and Eve and the serpent. God gave a command and said, do this. But the serpent job was to turn, always, his job is to turn man and woman from God. But he has to have bait. The serpent has to have bait on this hook in order to turn man against God. He just can't go up there and say, hey, look here, you know what? Turn against your father. Turn against God, because I said so. Nah, he has to say, look, if you turn against God the Father, then you will become a God and as wise as him. He don't want you to have that knowledge and information. He wants you to keep it away from you. That's why he told you not to eat from this fruit tree, not to eat from this knowledge, right? That he had to offer Adam and Eve something that was attractive to get Eve to bite from the apple, and apple is a metaphor, but we'll roll with that. To get Eve from biting from the apple and giving it to Adam, to where they knew that they were naked. What does that mean? They knew that they was naked. They had an orgasm, and they started chasing that orgasm, making sex a god besides God. That was the sin. That was the sin. Okay, we go a little further. So anyway, once that happened, man falling, right? But you got to keep in mind, man and woman was created on what was right, and they knew what was right because what was right was embedded in their being, in their soul, in their nature. So the goal always was to get back to what was right. Now, time. We had time, and everybody that's, look, we knew right from wrong, but we did wrong because we always figure, well, I'm wilding out right now, but I got time to get it right. And yeah, okay, in our time, we did. But now, you just got to do right. Because some things you don't have, the time is not there to recover from. So do what's right. But those who knew right but did wrong, their testament will help others. So it's okay to get out there and say, hey, I did wrong, but I'm doing right at this moment. And let me share my wisdom and knowledge with you, the youth. Hopefully, you won't make the same mistakes that I've made. And it ain't about the money. We put it in music. We put it in shows like this. We put it in movies and whatnot. Oh, check out Everyday People, the movie. Part 1, 2, and 3. Part 4 is on the way. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. Everyday People, the movie. THE, the movie. Make sure y'all check that out. But reason why, because these shows are made on the WISE, WISE, to turn or to assist on the mission to bring things back in line or in order, because things are out of order at this particular moment, right? And how do you set things back in motion? Because you are responsible to act on the knowledge that you received when you know it's right. You can't turn your back on it because you worried about what people will think or peer pressure. You know, if they say if you know better, do better. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out. Oh wait, before we go, hold on. Now Kanye in that 13th Amendment, the trap door. We don't need a trap door. What he was saying was, see, okay, let me use them. I'm gonna tell you why Kanye said that. See, Mike tried it. See, Michael Jackson tried it. See, Mike was a proud. He enjoyed himself when he was with the Jackson 5 before he bleached his skin blonde and straightened his hair, because he felt that, first of all, that's my way in. He was tired of he didn't want a glass ceiling. He wanted to be the biggest superstar there was. And so he felt as though, well, if I bleach my skin and change my nose, I don't have to get teased by these white fans when I go out on stage and whatnot. I'll cater to them. And that's when he lost himself, because you gave up yourself so white people could like you, who wasn't going to never like him. Mike figured that out, so he started speaking out against the Illuminati, and he started speaking out against certain organizations and how they corrupt they were. And yeah, that's after, because he realized, damn, no matter what I do, these people are not going to accept me. And he understood why Prince wrote Slave on his face. So Kanye trying it again. Kanye saying, okay, well, look, this is what I'm going to do. White folk going to accept me. On one hand, I'm going to give them what they want by me supporting Donald Trump and saying, hey, I get what y'all saying. We need to abolish the 13th Amendment. We need to do so and so. I can bridge the gap between black and white people. And some was just sitting back saying, poke Kanye, but it's like Abraham, leave no stone unturned in trying. If you can make that happen, Kanye, and bring peace between the races, okay, well, they going to step back and see what you got, Kanye. See if they going to accept you, Kanye. See if you say something where they upset you. See if Trump won't turn on you. It's the Malcolm thing. Malcolm X goes over to Mecca, see white Muslims, come back to America and tell the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they got white Muslims. If we can get the white people in America to convert to Islam, we all can get along in peace. And our Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as wise as he is, told Malcolm, white people built this country on Christianity. They not going to accept Islam. But, Malcolm felt as though he could do it. So you got to let him get out there and try. I mean, we done seen this story in this picture before with a whole lot of black. OJ, another example. White folk used to love OJ. OJ, the juice was like, OJ had a restaurant with black people, right? Little white girl come in there, right? And she sees OJ and she says, oh, there's the juice, there's OJ. What, in front of OJ, what OJ doing sitting down with all them niggers? And so dude was apologizing to OJ, man, that's messed up what she said. And OJ was like, well, wait a minute. Don't you see? She didn't see me as black or a nigger. She saw me as OJ. And the dude said, man, I knew OJ. After OJ made that statement, he said, I knew he was messed up. Because that will cause you to go into a psychiatric downward spiral, meaning the shit will drive you crazy. You try, Kanye, you trying to do something that others had done and failed before you. I wish you good luck, but in the end, that shit, if it don't knock you off, that shit's gonna drive you batshit crazy. Trust me. But I mean, hey, but mercy, justice, God is fair. If folks will step out the way and say, Kanye, work your jelly. Verbal Pick Radio, we out.